Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. We are back with another mod for the Frontier here. Up in the grill, we are going to be adding the Raptor lights. I've got sent these from a company. The link will be in the description if you want to pick them up for yourself. This is the latest model. These will just clip into the grill. I know some of the older ones, they were actually Tacoma lights, and you had to either kind of melt it on there, or some people were using like crazy glue or contact cement, stuff like that to hold them in place, where these will clip into the grill. You'll see that in a sec once we start the install. But in this video, we're going to show you how to fully install these, wire them up, put them into the fuse box, all that stuff, so they work how you want them, how they should, and hopefully this helps you out. So make sure to like and subscribe if it did. Check out some older videos, and hopefully you enjoy this one. Alright, so inside the box, what you get is your 4 LED lights. These are 3D printed. They'll bolt or clip right into the grill. Like I said, you don't need any glue or anything like that. They can clip right in. It's just a little hook, so you can take it back off if you want. If you notice, on the bottom, this one says B. There's A, B, C, and D. They all have their specific spots. I'll show you that once it gets on the truck. And basically, this end for the connector is just like all the other lights that are out there right now. You've got a male and female end. The other end will be on there. And then you basically just push them together. You twist it closed. You got your little rubber washer there to keep any water and gunk from getting in so it won't short circuit on you. But it's as easy as that. Once they're in, you can just plug it in. Then this is the harness, like I said, that comes with it. You've got your other end. When you are wiring these up, it doesn't matter which one goes to which light. The only thing you want to pay attention to is on these, if you see, that side has a little arrow. If you flip it to the other side, it's just blank. You want the arrow to go, because now if you look at one of the lights as well, one side is blank, the other side has an arrow. You want to make sure the two arrows are pointed together. This one does also have, I don't know if you guys can see that, a little tiny indent there on the top. Reason I'm showing you this, these guys do have it like this. Some have one on each side. I don't know why they do it like that, but you can put it in either way. But if you get them backwards and the arrow is not together, the light won't work. So just keep that in mind. Only thing I don't like about these little LED lights that everybody comes out with is these tiny, tiny little wires. You got your positive and negative. It's a pain in the butt to connect this to anything because it is so small. This is like a millimeter. Like, these wires are tiny. We'll make it work, but I wish they would just make a little bit of a bigger gauge for the wire. Makes it a little easier to connect things together, because what they also send you is 2 little fuse adapters here. You got the micro, which is the one we're going to use. They also send you just a regular one, so depending where you want to hook this up, you can use those. Reason I say I hate the little wire is because they send you this thing, and you're basically supposed to put the wire in there and crimp it. But having a positive and negative, obviously the negative's got to go to its own spot where the positive has to connect to the fuse adapter here. And to put that in there and crimp it down, it just doesn't work. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut this off. And I have here some little shrink wrap for the lighter, but I have little butt connectors. So what I'm going to do is cut that off, strip the wire a little bit, strip the wire on the adapter, put them both in here, crimp it down. You can go and pick this stuff up. This I got from Walmart, like $5. It does the job. It's not perfect, but it works. And you crimp it in here, you put the little shrink wrap around it, heat it up, shrink it down, and this thing won't let go. It's a lot easier to do than try to crimp that thing around a little tiny wire, and your job and your life will be a hell of a lot easier to get this in the truck. Alright, so first thing you got to do, and one of the nice things with this package is you don't actually have to take the whole grill off, but what you do got to do is get this plastic shroud out of the way. So you got 6 little clips all the way along. All you got to do, get a flathead screwdriver or a pry tool or whatever you got. You pop up the middle of the tab like that. Then you can just take it, give it a little bit of a wiggle. It comes right out. Don't lose those because you'll have to put it back in place. Put them somewhere where we won't lose them. But again, go across, pop up the middle, give it a little wiggle, comes right out just like that. All right, so now that you got those 6 little tabs out, you can wire this up just like this if you can get your arm in there, because you can just lift this up and get to it. But if you want to wire it up and strap it up and make it look nice, and for me, because I'm filming, I'm gonna have to get this plastic thing right out of the way. So if you look down in here, you can see you got a screw there. I believe there's 3 or 4 across this thing, and it's a T20 hex bit. So you can see T20, that's what you need. Undo those. It's basically just attached to the grill here. Unthread those, and then you can take this whole piece out of the way. And then one thing I forgot to mention, once you get those screws out, you also have these little tabs. These are like alignment tabs, and it's just got a little flap there. You can see it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but basically get in there with a screwdriver or your fingernail like me, pull that up, and then pull it out, and it'll release on those tabs. Again, there's 3 or 4 across here, maybe a few more, but lift them up, slowly pull out, and then it'll release the plastic here for you. All right, so moving on to the lights themselves. This is your A. So what it is and how I'm going to do it. A, driver's side, B, C, and D. If you look at these lights, this is your B, and this is D, this is C. So if you look at B and C, because they're in the middle of this thing, you can see this one, the light is relatively straight. You have this side that's a little bit higher, this side that's a little bit lower for the clip. If you look at your B, which is this one here, same thing, a straight, pretty much straight light, but your lower side is on that side, and your higher side, what I mean by these low wings, is on the right side. And then if you look at D, we'll bring it over here with the A that I've already got clipped in. You can see higher side here, lower side there, but your light also has a little bit of a pitch to it. So when you look and you put this on A, you can see it's fatter on one side than the other. So if you were to put this on that side, it's going to be pointing your light and shooting it out this direction instead of straight. So A and D are your outside ones, and it's as easy as just putting your wire through here, and you can just kind of put the bottom in, give it a little bit of a wiggle and a push, and then you'll hear a click. That's as easy as it is. It'll click in just like that, and then again, you can see now when you look at these straight on, your light is going to be pointing straight instead of if you had it the other way around, where your longer side is here, it's kind of going to be pitched this way, and you're going to be shooting the light out to the side of the vehicle. So because the grill does have a little bit of a curve to it, they've thought about that when they 3D printed these. And as you can see, as long as you go driver's side, like I said, it'll be A, B in the middle, C in the middle, and then D right here where we clipped it in. And then again, as I was showing you, now we're on to C. How this side is just slightly higher up than this side. You can see again, this is just a little bit longer on that side. And that's because if you come up here in the grill, I'm not sure exactly how this will show up in camera, but this part where it clips, right by the Nissan badge here, is just slightly further out than this. So when you put this in, this being a little bit further back, makes up the difference. And same with the side here where we got B clipped in now. So you can see once you clip it in, everything stays nice and tight. You're not going to have gaps, and you're going off-road or over speed bumps or a bumpy road, whatever. You don't have to worry about these things popping off. For these, I find, with the B anyways, put the top in first, roll the bottom till it's started. You can see it wants to force itself back out. Get it in there like that, push it till you hear the clip, and she's on, nice and tight. They don't wiggle. There's no playroom in these at all. They're on there really well. If you need to get them off, you can reach underneath where the little tab clips and push it down and pop them off. But once they're on there, they're on there. All right, so now moving on to the harness portion of it, you can see you've got your 4 wires here that connect to the lights in the grill. And then you've got your long cable. I say this thing's probably 5.5, 6 feet long. So they give you plenty of cord to get to where you need to find some power and a ground. All right, so I'll show you as best as I can. This is what it looks like from the back of the grill. You can see they come in and it clips just around the top there. Same with the bottom. So if you ever need to get these off for some reason, you come back here, you just push down on that tab and push outwards and you'll be able to pop the lights back off. So now for the wiring portion of it, I've got the first 3 wired up. Again, it doesn't matter which one of these you plug into which. I usually just go with the first one, plug it into A, second one to B, but it does not matter which one goes where, as long as they're plugged in and threaded in all the way. So again, what you want to do, get your 2 arrows, the 1 arrow on here, the 1 arrow on there, push them together so it's nice and tight. It should look just like this. You can see arrow there, arrow there. Make sure your rubber little washer here is all the way up tight. It'll squish a little bit. You'll see it when you plug it together. And then all you got to do is bring this over, thread it on. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just get it started. It'll start pulling itself on there. You don't have to get a wrench or anything on this or pliers. Just finger tight, get it as tight as you can by hand, and that's more than enough to hold this together because this is only plastic. So if you start cranking on this with a pair of pliers or something, you're just going to strip it and it's not going to hold at all. So thread it down as tight as you can by hand, and I'll show you this one that's done. You can see that's just by hand, goes all the way down. It'll look like that. And if you're wondering how I zap strapped it all up, you can see, just crumple it all together, put the zip ties wherever they can tie together, and then it doesn't have to worry about making it look like a hot mess under there. But at least now when you come to the front, you can't see any of the wiring. Looks like there's nothing there, part of the grill, and just looks more professional when it's all said and done. And then once you got your plastic back in place, grab these little clips again, just make sure the center is lifted up, and then all you got to do, put it in the hole, wiggle it till it pops in like that, and push down the middle. That's all it takes. It's in place. And then go back and put your 3 screws along the front, and then all you're left with is the wire coming out right here. All right, so what you're looking for in your fuse box here is, I know it's kind of hard to see, but you got a 30 amp green fuse there, and you can see this 10 amp, and you can see there's an empty spot. That one's already out. I actually have my aux beam wired to that. It's 10 amp as well. What I'm going to do, because under here there's not many of these, if you can get that other 10 out, it also goes off with the daytime running lights. Any of the ones down here stay on. They draw power even if the light is not off. So I think it's the second one or possibly the last one, I can't remember. One of these 2 is labeled your daytime running lights. Now, daytime running lights are only on when the headlights are off, and when the truck is off, they should go off as well. But if you plug this into your daytime running lights, even though the truck is off and the daytime running lights are off, the power is still going in here. They're off, but these lights will stay on. So you're aiming for that. What I'm going to do, and this right here is the one I pulled out of that spot. This is wired to my aux beam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this 5 amp with a 10 amp. And I'm just going to wire together. You can see this is how we crimped this one originally as well. I'm going to just cut this off, and I'm going to wire this extra lighting to this as well. So when the DRLs are on and you turn the lights on, the lights will come on automatically and my aux beam will turn on inside. Again, you could use that fuse beside it, but with this thing being so bulky, and it goes in this way, this chunk of wires and this chunk of wires kind of blocks you from being able to plug this in. You may be able to squeeze it in that way possibly, not 100% sure, but I'm going to try to wire them together. If it works, you'll see. If it doesn't, I'll let you know what I changed and how I figured it out. All right, now this is what I do. It might not be the prettiest, it might not be how it's supposed to be done, but what I do is, because this wire is so tiny, like I said, pull it out, cut a big chunk of the sleeving off like this so you got just the bare wire. Then what I do, I cut the end off of the adafuse and I just wrap it around. Spiral it around, make it nice and tight like you see. And then when you slide this over now, hopefully it doesn't fall down. When I slide that over, grab your little crimp it down. It should hopefully hold on and not come loose. And then I also have the little heat shrink wrap here already placed on as well. So we're going to crimp that down, shrink it. That can go into the box, and then I'll show you where I'm going to ground this thing. All right, now to ground this thing, right here beside your fuse box is this bolt. It's holding on your box right here. The nut is welded onto this little cutout bracket here, so you don't have to worry about that falling down. I'm going to ground the wire on here. Reason being, it's close to the box. You don't have to cut a lot of wire, make it reach somewhere. Second reason, it's got kind of like a little washer built into the head of this bolt. Only thing, now I'm going to do it this way. I don't recommend you do it this way. I just forgot to buy the part. They make a little fitting for the end here. You crimp it on just like we did to the adafuse, and it'll have a little loop. You could put it on here, tighten it down with the loop over the bolt. Unfortunately, I forgot to pick one of those up. So for now, just for video purposes, I'm just going to wrap this around the screw, put it back in, and it'll work good enough for a ground for now, but don't do it like that permanently. Get the right piece, crimp it on just like we did with the adafuse, put it on here. Looks more professional, and it's going to hold up long term, where this will eventually wear out and let go, especially with the wire so small. All right, so this is what you're looking at once it's done. Again, this is my aux beam and these Raptor lights put into one now. And then again, they come down, plug in right there. You got a 30, 10, and that'll be in the second 10 amp fuse spot. That's where it's plugged in. In here, I got two 10 amp fuses as well. So now we just close up the box, make it look all nice, and we give them a test. All right, so moment of truth. We got it all back together. Under the hood's all buttoned up. You can see lights are all tucked away. Can't see any wiring. It's all in place. I got it hooked up, so when you hit the unlock, there you go. They pop on, and then you'll see the lights will stay on for a few minutes. If we lock it, it'll go a little quicker. You wait that couple seconds, and when the headlights pop off, because it's attached to the same fuse, these will come off as well. There you go. Lights out, lights off. So again, unlock. They come on. Now if you want to drive with these on during the day, all you got to do is flick on your auxiliary lights when you're driving, not your headlights, just the auxiliary lights, and it'll come on. Same idea as I do with the aux beam under there. Otherwise, you'll see here in a minute, it might not do it while I'm filming. But when you're driving around in the daytime, if you have your lights in auto, these will go off, just like that. And then if you turn it to auxiliary, like I said, they'll come on. You can drive with them during the day. Myself, obviously with the light bar and the ditch lights and stuff, I only tend to use them during the night. That's why I wire it the way I do. So then when the daylight or the daytime running lights kick on with the auto switch in there, these will pop on with them. And again, if you want to use them during the day, you just give your little light switch one turn and they'll be on. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully this video helped you out. I know the wiring is what scares most people away. I hope I got enough detail in this video that you guys can figure it out and do it on your own. But again, if you want to pick these up, I'll leave a link down below, straight off of Amazon. And yes, I'm up in Canada, so you can even get them up here. And you can see it looks sweet way back here even. They're all pointing the right way. And easy install. Shouldn't take you more than a half an hour if you got a couple tools and a little bit of know-how. And if not, hopefully this video shows you everything you need and you can give it a shot on your own frontier. So leave a like, subscribe, check out the other videos, stay tuned for more, and hopefully this helped you out. Thanks for watching.